Texas now. Don't belong here anymore, anymore. So dinner time at the bar, brought in a whiskey jar, you know what to be. And I used to work the door, can't do that anymore, now that I'm free. And it feels like somebody just got lifted over me. And I know I'm in lucky, lucky to live long enough to say, get out of Texas, Lord. Don't belong here anymore. No, you don't, no. I'm not doing it now with you. I'd even say I do one fine day. I'll even drive to Arkansas. Let my boys okay, yeah. And the road is like a river, sent to carry us away. Won't you hold me when I shiver, yeah. On the shiver, I heard somebody say, get out of Texas now. Don't belong here anymore. Don't belong here anymore. Don't belong anymore. Don't belong anymore. Don't belong anymore. Don't belong anymore.
on, Mike?
Bongo, you know this guy? Who is this guy?
I do know this guy. Do you want to know how I know this guy?
How?
Teddy O'Brien's.
In Highwood?
Yes, in Highwood.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny how this whole thing came about. So I've been patronizing Teddy's for a few years, whatever. Go there, and I guess some people, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Ted. I'm doing this from memory, so I could be totally off. But people were telling him to book the Mosquitoes, and then he finally did. And then we were talking all the time, and then we started playing, 3-4 times a year, and we had
It was Chris Leahy that gave me your name and number.
Chris Leahy, there you go.
That was the connection.
There. So that's how I got to meet Ted, and then I would go in, and even when I wasn't playing, I would go in, and he'd be at the door, and we'd shoot the shit for 10 minutes, and then I'd go in and watch whatever band was playing, and Ted knows this. I'm not blowing smoke up his ass. He is and still is one of my favorite bar owners. Easiest guy to deal with, and he just ran a great ship over there. Yeah.
It was fun, man. We did fun bands. It was easy, easy.
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, Ted, welcome to Hogpod, man.
Thanks. Hotpot is great, man. Appreciate it.
Well, we'll see. It's early. I tell that to all the guests. So
Things could go off the rails.
first of all, I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world. I'm just owning up to it right now. We do a music podcast to support the scene, and I rarely leave my basement because I'm editing this stuff. But clue me in on the Highwood scene, Ted, your story. You had it for a period, 22 years. So go through the whole 9 yards. The people who just tripped over this thing on YouTube and said, tell me more, Ted.
The whole 9 yards. Yeah, we bought it in '99, and I had done, leading up to that, I had done a radio show on WCBR. I think we talked about that last time. And that's how I got to know Mr. Blotto, because we featured their live stuff on the radio. And so they were kind of our gateway in. We started doing them, a couple times a year. And I think they gave us cred, as far as in the music community. So we got a lot of really, really good talent throughout the years. And, I would say the most talent in that town for sure. And we were kind of the hub of live music. So yeah, we just loved it. I loved booking the bands that I like to see. So it was kind of selfish, but that's just the way I did it. If it was a band I wanted to see, I booked them. That made work a lot easier.
Now, 22 years, that's a lot of cred, because getting the band to play, getting the right band to play at the right price, not losing your ass at the door, and getting the people to come in, that ain't easy, Ted. Clue people in how easy it is.
It's totally easy.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah, right. Just book a band. You can do it.
But
like Mike said, it's just nice you got to just be cool with the bands, and we always had cool relationships with them. Where if it wasn't an awesome night, it wasn't a turnout. We thought everyone was always pretty cool with, like, all right, we won't, we're not going to make as much, and that's just the way it went. So,
well, starting out in '99, let's just say you buy a club now, and to get it going, I mean, how long did it take you to get that? Trust is the right word, I think, that when you want to put somebody in and say, well, okay, I know the guy's going to pay us, I know they're going to treat us right, and I don't know if you're going to make meatballs in the green room or whatever, but but how long did it take to get that going?
Like I said, I think Mr. Blotto gave us a street cred, and
right off the bat.
Yeah, they played there 4 or 5 times a year, and I think people thought if those guys were playing there 4 or 5 times a year, then it's got to be worth something. So I had very few issues with bands as far as money and distrust, for sure. I think we always had a pretty cool relationship with everyone, whether it was myself there or Brian. Everyone, everything was pretty smooth and good.
Blotto, man. Now where I come in is like early '90s, and Paul and his daughter. I mean, they ran they killed. And to get a residency, what was it, Sunday night you had them, Ted? What years did you do?
Sunday afternoons. It started because of COVID. You couldn't do anything for a while, so we had just reopened up, and they played on a Sunday afternoon. And Paul said, "Hey, man, we should do this every Sunday." And I said, "If you don't mean that, don't say it, because I'm in. I'll do it every Sunday." Yeah. And that was the summer of 2020, and they've been doing it ever since. Hopefully, it gets back there. Move down the street for a month, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well. Wah, wah, wah. Fast forward. What's this? You sold it to go to there. We'll go back and forth, and we'll see if
All
we
right.
get a couple clips out of this, Ted. And
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we sold it in December 21. Um, and everything was good for a little while, and then it wasn't. Didn't work out so well for the next people. So now we're
well,
trying
yeah.
to revive it and keep the legacy what it was versus what it is right now.
Now we're not trying to get into politics or relationships because we don't know. Okay.
Right.
You sold it. God bless America. That's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Turn a profit. Okay. So you sold it, and then whatever happened, it closed, and you're like,
Right.
all right, let me get it going again.
And I feel like I'm running out of time because they got a property owner that has been supportive and by me, but they've got a building that's been empty for 8 months too. So it seems like it's more my battle than theirs. And so I mean, at this point, I would love to make it happen for myself, but if not, I'd like someone to go in there that would just keep at least carry on the legacy. Keep the same style and hopefully give that name the due it deserves because it was a great place for a long time.
Now, this is all speculation. We have no idea. And then Bongo pitch in anytime you want. But we did a podcast together. I got one Lake Forest podcast, and we talked
Right.
about the civic angle there. And then this is the music one. I thought we would talk about the music angle. But I think we need to get people up to speed that don't give a hoot about Lake Forest that want to know about this music thing. Okay. We're kind of bouncing around, but you sold it 2022. Whatever happened, it got ixnayed. And we want to reach out to the music community.
Summertime's the best. I mean, the patio is just it's the best vibe going for sure. I mean, I don't care how nice and new something is. There's nothing like the vibe out there and it's nice and tight and it's just a great scene.
Yeah.
And if it sits vacant for a year, that means they suspended for a year, I believe, right, Ted?
There's something like
Yeah,
I don't
so
know all the logistics of that, but yeah, something along those.
now this is all speculation. What's going on? We'll get to Bongo Mike and we'll talk about some music. But
I don't either.
Rocky's the owner, right, of the building.
He's one of them. Yeah, he's one of the sons. Yes.
And his dad was the original owner, going back to Rainbows, was it?
Yeah.
Rainbow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's owned it. They've owned it. The family's owned it since I think the 80s, like early 80s, mid 80s, something like that.
And then the dad passed away, and then Rocky's like, "Oh man, he's trying to figure things out." And
yeah, and they're not making it easy on him either. And it's like I said, it's not their fight to make it go. So I mean, I get it, and I hate to put him in that position, but they definitely thought it was going to be a smooth transition. All right, we're going to get this guy back in. Let's get it back and running, and it just has not been. That's not the way it's going.
Bongo, when'd you play there with the Skeeters?
It's been a few years when I went, like I said, when Ted was running Ted and Brian were running the show. I'd probably do it conservatively 2-3 times a year. The summer was better for us.
Yeah, but like starting when, like, what was the first time you played there? And was obviously 2022 was the last year. So what was
it was before COVID. So I don't know, maybe Ted, in 2018.
I was going to say before that. I was thinking like 14, 15 probably.
Yeah. I mean, every now and then someone will send a video and show us like, hey, remember this night when we were out at Teddy O'Brien's?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. But yeah, it was probably right around there, 2014, 2015.
Now paint a picture because, all right, it's marketed as a dive bar. Everybody's trying to market themselves as a dive bar, but then when you have an actual dive bar, then people bitch and moan and complain. So it's crazy. But Bongo, what was it like? You had the inside, and then you had that nice outside that I saw.
The patio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for us, I mean, obviously with an 8-piece band, the patio was always advantageous for us because we could fit there. Inside, Ted and I had done a few shows inside, and basically what we did is, Ted removed the pool table, which is on the side where the guy's bathroom is, and we played against that wall. And that actually worked well, but you had to be like within the larger part of the bar. If you were anywhere on the long part where you walk in, you kind of lost perspective. You could hear it, but you couldn't see.
Yeah.
But the patio was great. The patio, at the time it was there was a ledge that was against the fence. And some bands would line up, like Mr. Blotto. I distinctly remember them. All 4 of them or 5 of them would be up on this ledge. And when we play it, we would put the drums and percussion or, something like that up on the ledge of the keyboard. And then we'd put the singers and the guitar players, down below. So we were a little bit elevated. But yeah, it was a great vibe. It was always fun on a beautiful summer night. People would come out there and, you couldn't beat it. I mean, like I
Yeah,
said,
it
two,
was.
3 times a year, we'd love to get in there and, Ted and I would, talk about it,
Yeah,
early
but I mean,
spring.
even the first time you played there, you had a good relationship, right? I mean, you got paid,
Fantastic.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
was, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
Easy guy to deal with. We never had a written contract. Ted understood that. It was
Oh,
with no written contracts. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
No. No, it's a
that does
handshake.
exist. That does
It,
exist, Pete.
that's how
People,
you know. That's how you know to trust somebody, right?
yeah,
That's when you have that kind of relationship that you don't have to sit there and have a. I mean, it's risky, obviously. Easily. I could turn around and say, "Hey, I can't do that gig. Sorry, I'm out." Or vice versa.
well,
We
then you're
played the
not
gig.
booked again.
Right, exactly. Or
yeah,
vice versa. Ted could come back and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to pay you tonight. You had a shitty turnout or something like that." That would never happen, but and that's because I trusted Ted. And again, he's a friend, and we developed that relationship over time, and never even talked about money. Never. I don't think once that you and I ever, even
no,
Brian and I,
no, right,
never
yeah,
talked about money. We played, and at the end of the night, he came over and he gave me my money, and I shook hands. I didn't even count it until I got out into the parking lot. I just didn't. I trusted him. And I've had that trust with a lot of different owners too. I mean, I've got this a similar relationship with Bobby Carlson at Sundance. I
Sundance,
don't
yeah,
have contracts with him. I had the same relationship with Kathy when she was running Whiskey River. Now they got a guy in there running it, and I won't play for him.
No
Um,
comment.
yeah, well, hey, it is what it is. You people want to go play and play for peanuts, go ahead and do it. I'm not doing it.
Well,
So,
that's like a symptom. Look at empty pockets or empty barrels. I'm sorry.
oh God. Now we didn't have a problem getting paid there. I know
I
you
did.
guys did.
I
We didn't have a problem getting paid. But we were contending against a Blackhawks playoff game that pushed our start time way the
yeah, yeah,
fuck
yeah.
late. But overall, it's always been a great relationship. And as a patron of that bar, I can tell you the atmosphere and the friends. I mean, Ted knows this. He every time another person came in the door, it was someone that personally knew him, was friends with him. They would sit and talk to him for a little bit, and you could just walk in that bar and 25, 30 people and it's all your friends and they're all music lovers and they're all enjoying themselves and no drama, no bullshit, no fighting. And people respected everybody, and
yeah,
that's something to be said in the atmosphere and the vibe that was created. And
Right. Never
and
argue another man's wallet is what I always say. So there's two sides, Ted, and we just met this
yeah,
week. So
yeah.
who knows? So, but
Yeah.
give me a little history in Highwood. I mean, I live pretty close to Highwood, and again, down here in the basement. How did the music start at Highwood? You got the wood nickel. Go through all that.
So yeah, before we bought it, there was a guy named Matt Santel that owned the Wooden Nickel, and he had some good. The Wooden Nickel was where Toadstool is now. It's a totally different
Yeah, yeah.
location.
yeah.
He used to get great bands in there, but he was like 21 years old, and he didn't. It was like he was like running his basement, so he didn't. He didn't stay in business long. So, but he had some great music in there, and so we just kind of picked up on that. And like I said, I've always loved live music, and just to have that patio. There's still a picture on the wall from the first Sunday when Blotto played there, and we're up on the roof. Took a picture. It's pretty cool.
When did Toad start there?
I think he's coming up on 25 years, so
Jeez,
I think
Louise.
close to, yeah.
Incidentally, he's another great owner. I mean, working with Tom Garrity
Yeah,
Toad he's awesome. It's great.
And I'm
Love
sorry I
working with
said
him.
Toad, but I called him Tom and he said, call me Toad. I'm like, all
He's
right.
Toad. I mean, I call him Toad too. I mean, I'm just trying to be formal, but Tom Garrity's awesome. Toadstool Pub's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's
it's
great
always
to have
been
music at a couple different spots in a given night. It's cool to be able to bounce around and just say,
yeah,
it's just a
But
good,
to
it's a good
find that
vibe for
on
the
the
whole
north,
city.
to find
yeah.
that on the North Shore, I mean, where are you going to go?
That's it.
Evanston and,
Not even.
EDM music? I mean, what's the uniqueness about Highwood, the stories, Ted?
Well, at one point it had the most bars in a square foot radius. I think it's still in the Guinness Book of Records for the most bars within a square foot or square
Yeah.
mile.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the liquor license is so expensive, is because they had so many. They're like, we have to curb this somehow. So, and I think it's just always been that town. It's in the middle of Chicago, Milwaukee. It's just in a
Yeah.
cool spot. It's right up the highway, so it's easy to get to. And everything goes like it's all good as long as people are not acting foolish.
So Bongo, you played there and you love to play there again.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
there's a lot of bands that share that sentiment. I mean, Ted and I have had some conversations the last couple times I've seen him, and I know that there's a big push from a lot of people, patrons and musicians, that would love to see that place open again. And I mean, once those doors open again, there'd be a line of people saying, "Yeah, we're ready to play. What's your
Yeah,
schedule look like?"
right.
And now there's a stage. Been a stage that has been put up on the west side of the building. So they kind of cleared out the one area that was kind of like for storage and stuff. And now there's a stage, a pretty high stage actually too. So I mean, you could see it from anywhere on the patio. And yeah, I mean, I mean, the people they want it open. I mean, I saw some of the video when Ted was in front of the board was it 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
Ted, when you did
yeah.
that?
21st.
And there was a friend of mine, Jeremy Latham, had recorded it and posted it up on Facebook. And, watching Ted, basically give his dissertation. And but a lot of people chimed in, and you can see anytime there's a post on that stuff, the people are talking about it, and the people are saying, we support you. I told Ted, if you needed me to sign anything or write a letter, I mean, anybody in the Mosquitoes would do it, but I for sure would be the first one to say, yeah, I'll do it. I don't
I
know. I
don't.
don't know the answers.
I wish I don't know the answers either, but
oh,
especially in the summertime, when the weather gets nice, it's like you get the itch. That's what you want to do. You want to go outside and see some music, and you know, it's a shame it's not up and running right now.
talk
And not
about
only not
talk,
only
talk-
that though, Ted. Let me
yeah, go ahead.
mention this though. Highwood is also known for a bunch of festivals. And that's all going to be ramping up here. Besides they have the Wednesday markets in the park and stuff like that, there's some pretty big fests that go on in that
Yeah,
town. And
yeah,
I
you did a
know
good
that
job with
those
that.
were big days for you as a bar owner. So you've got Nashwood, you've got Highwood Days, which used to be Taco Fest. You have Pumpkin Fest. Those are big days. And I mean, I played those fests. And I know what it means for the bar owners there. I mean, and I see how packed things get. So I mean,
And it's nice to have another outlet for people to go to, so that you just
yes,
one more space you can stash some people and move around versus
exactly. And how many people would go and traverse, from one side to the other? We're going to stop at Toad's.
yeah,
We're
that was
going
the
to
whole
go
thing.
watch the main stage. We're going to go stop at Teddy's. Oh, Teddy's got, Earth Mother or whatever,
Yeah,
whoever was
right.
playing.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
Earth Mother, good one. That's deep.
yeah, I know. They broke up.
I know. I know.
Ted, go back in the memory banks. Give me some of the bands that
Oh,
routed
geez.
through there in the 22 years. Let's put a log on the fire. Name drop. Go.
Yeah, so we did the first Friday thing with Northwest Corner. That became, it started as like, let's do it for 3 months and see how it goes, and it went on for I don't know how many years, but
Years.
it was like 7 years. It
Yeah.
went into even to the new owners. They had a little bit of a falling out, and it stopped. But that was a big one. Northwest Corner was big, and that was the Jimmy Bucas, the music scene people will respect that name. Played
Yeah.
out there a lot. Stampy was a good one. We've had Old Shoe. We had Bayless came out there and did an acoustic gig a couple of times, which was cool. Geez, there's a
Yeah,
ton of
Brendan Bayless from Umphrey's McGee. In case
yeah.
Pete had a kind of a confused look.
Yeah, I have that all the time. Tell me.
And I got a good one for you too, Ted, because I remember when you told me about this band, and then I had a chance to sit in with them, and I gotta tell you, they were so fantastic. They were called Unity,
Oh yeah.
and they were coming from Wisconsin, and this was a reggae band like no other reggae band. And I was fortunate enough to somehow get wired up from Tim Carmichael to sit in with them on 420. I was supposed to sit in on one or two songs, and I remember Peta, rest his
Yeah,
soul.
yeah,
What a
right.
great guy. Peta looks at me, he goes,
Unbelievable.
"Hey man," he goes, "why don't you sit in the whole set?" I go, "Okay." Little did I know they don't take a break. They play for
They don't.
2 hours,
They
and
don't play. They
I had to
play
walk.
forever.
I
Yeah,
had to go take a piss.
yeah,
I had to walk out. I looked at him. I go, "Break? Oh, no break, man." I
yeah,
go, I'll be
yeah.
back on the next song."
What
Yeah,
is
he was one of the best, man. He was so down to earth and cool, and everybody. He had time for everybody. Talked to everyone when they did take a break or when they finally stopped. He stuck around and talked to people who didn't drink, didn't do drugs. He didn't
Nope.
didn't put up with any of that. He was clean and took it really, really seriously. He'd call me in January, be like, "Hey, is July 7th booked?" I'm like, "No, it's pretty wide open right now."
Yeah, God, I missed that band so much.
Yeah, they were high energy. I think they played Pumpkin Fest one year for like 4 hours. They didn't have another band, so they just played
Yeah,
straight through. They played forever. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
Ted? What do people don't know that's going on behind the scenes that they need to know about running a club?
the most work you do is when nobody's there.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's much easier when you're open and you got people there, but it's all the work you put in during the day. Then the little stuff so you're ready for the night. That's the hard work. Being open and dealing with people is the gravy.
But ordering the phone calls, you know,
Yeah,
people want to play there. You're like, how, how do you manage it all? It's because you're doing everything, man. I know you got help, but
yeah, no,
it's your place.
yeah, right, yeah. I enjoy it. You just got to stay on it. You treat it like a job. You got it takes time. So once like anything, once you do it for a while, it
Habit.
becomes like second nature. Yeah.
Uh, Give me a story where it's like, man, I didn't plan for this night because your cooler only handles so much. I don't know if you had kegs or not or whatever, but it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
all right, go to Jewel.
Oh yeah. We
Give
ran
me a
across
story.
we ran across the street for ice, during the summer at least twice a
Yeah,
week, because we run out. I mean, for sure. And you just hope that thing catches up for the next night.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes lemons, limes. It all happens. That's a great thing. That's a great problem to have. When you're that busy that you're out of stuff, you're just gonna have to deal. Fortunately, we were as a dive bar, we were laid back enough where people. We were nice enough about it. Just say, I apologize. We just don't have a line. We don't have a line right now. And they're like, all right.
What kind of martini you want?
Yeah,
Here's a
right.
Miller
Right.
Lite.
Here's done. This one's already open. Just take it. All right. You're
Here,
fine. I
here we
got that.
go.
I got that. You're good.
That's one of the things too. When you're slammed and there's a line and somebody's giving you a 14 ingredient drink, it's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I got to put you to the side here and I got to
Yeah.
get these quick $5
Yeah.
hits,
Yep. I
right?
want the order with like 5 Miller Lights. Done. I got you.
You gotcha. That's just the reality of things.
Yeah. Right.
What in that 22 years, Ted, like what's changed? Like the technology, like as simple as having LED lights versus those old cans that would heat the freaking stage up.
Yeah.
Give me some things that you've noticed over time that helped out the from behind the scenes part of the music business.
We were pretty old school, so we were kind of down and dirty. We didn't have a sound system. We didn't, so the band brought in sound. They took care of that, brought their own sound guy. So, um, I don't think we took advantage of the technology as well as most places might have.
All
we
right. What
stayed,
have you
we
noticed
stayed,
in other
we,
places?
we stayed down and dirty. Uh, um, I don't know. You tell me, Mike. I mean, you know that more than me. I see you guys walking around with the iPad that runs the board now. So
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah, I mean,
different thing.
obviously that's a huge upgrade. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
even have that. We still have the old traditional board. You need someone sitting
got to
behind it.
mix it. Yeah, right.
We don't do too many gigs though, recently. I mean, we've gotten away from doing a lot of the shows with where we have to run our own sound. I mean, we've been fortunate that, we haven't had to do it. I mean, obviously, with your establishment, we did have to bring sound and lights, and
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible. I mean, we had to
yeah. It's just nice
have
enough to
somebody
have.
run the board. Yeah, you just, we have the board and we use it, but now we don't take ours out that much. We actually, when we were playing your place regularly, we know there was a band discussion about getting, upgrading to one of those iPads. So whoever was running sound could walk around and who could tweak things. And I mean, that's really the way that's going.
Yeah, yeah,
And of course, in terms of the lights, Pete, now I'm not traveling with can lights. I mean, that was the shit that was up in the rafters and stuff
Yeah.
that at these old bars. I mean, now it's all LEDs. I mean, we have actually own three light banks and some lighting effects, lasers and stuff like that. But we have three light banks. That's all LED, and I have a little foot pedal that controls it. I mean, but that's the stuff I would bring just to illuminate the stage. At Teddy's, depending on the time of year. If you were playing in September, you gotta get the lights going pretty early. But if you're playing in like June or July, you get a little bit more daylight,
yeah.
so you may not have to kick those lights on until 8:30, quarter to 9. And you're done at what it was 11:15, 11:20
Yeah,
was
yeah, right.
we would look at the clock across the street. That was
Yeah,
my
yep.
if Ted or Brian came out and looked at me, okay, it's 11:15. Let's wrap this up,
Yeah. Right.
But like doing a soft open, I mean, going back 22 years, I mean, you think you got everything in place, and then you got to test the system there and test it with your friends first, right? What's a soft open, Ted?
No such thing.
No such thing.
Just throw you in the fire and go. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out on the fly.
But payment processing, I mean, cash from 20 years
giant
ago
great,
to
yeah.
now, it's crazy, like less
Yeah.
than 10% in some places, right?
Right. That is a big thing, and people don't even carry it. Like even at the door, if you are going to charge a $10 cover, people are like, I don't have any money. I don't carry any cash. So
Yeah.
that is definitely a difference.
ATM.
Yeah, right. Right. And that'll break, and then you got all right. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And if the credit, the old, God, I can't remember.
Right.
If that's down, it's like, all right, cash only. Well,
Yeah. Now what?
what do you do? Well, at least you got mobile now. You can swipe, do the Stripe or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just
There was ways to figure it out for sure, but it sure is a nice when everything just goes smoothly. But don't hold your breath.
I gotta tell you, man, cash is still king. I'll go out to like Summerfest and stuff. It's all credit cards. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I mean, what the hell? I got the cash on me. I'd rather pay with cash. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes with a credit card. I don't want
Right.
to be
Right. How much was
swiping
that?
and
Right. Yeah, right.
then the tip, and I can't. Sometimes I can't read it in the dark, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just leave here? I just left them like $20.
spoken like a true Greek. Do you think you can cook too? All Greeks have restaurants with 50 pages in it.
Yeah. Oh, you want to? Oh, it's all Greeks want cash, right? That's
Tikanis.
Yeah.
Lefta.
I'm not Greek, but I share that same sentiment for sure.
It's all Greek. It's all Greek to me. But running a bar, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. So to have somebody go into a place and start up from scratch again, it's got no cred, no history or whatever. That's not going to happen unless
Takes a second. Yeah.
So unless
Yeah, this is kind of built in, ready to roll. So I mean, like I said, like I'm kind of running out of time. So if in fact I don't get in there, I hope somebody does that wants to carry on and keep it as is versus an alternative.
Well, what are the next steps for you? I mean, you've gotten in front of the board, you've gotten support from certain,
A lot of people.
factions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the people and stuff. I mean, you where
The
are
next
we at
step is
now?
trying to get on the agenda, and that can happen either through the mayor or if a couple aldermen.
you need two
push for it.
aldermen. Is there another city that would like to take your money, Ted?
That's a good question. I mean, I'd like to give them money. As a matter of fact, I think it's.
Well, you got the itch, right? I mean, you know.
I mean,
you
now
guys
we're
just-
talking about and now that you see all the people that are for it and want it, I mean, the push for it is strong. I mean, it's people are antsy for it. Like Mike said, I get a lot of people. What can I do? What do you want me to do? How can I help? And I'm like, I wish I knew. I don't know the answer to that right now. Or I would tell you, but
Well,
stuff like this is certainly helpful. So I appreciate this opportunity.
well, as I say, I'm the biggest hypocrite on the show. I try to support the music scene by not supporting it.
I go out and represent.
But
Yeah.
Bongo Mike, he covers my six.
It's a team game. It's a team game, people.
That's right. But My goodness, it's I don't know what they're going to put there. So, where else would you look, Ted?
Well, I'm going to see this through for better or for worse to see how it goes. And I don't know. I don't know.
Ted, I know we don't like contracts, but you can wish in one hand and crap in the other, see which one fills up first. So, hope's not a strategy.
No, you're right.
Insert
Hope is not
cliche here.
right.
Uh,
Yeah.
talk to me about Brian. Does Brian want to do something too, or like what? Because I don't know
Brian.
Brian. It took me this amount of years to figure out that Teddy O'Brien's is actually a Brian.
Yeah. That's why it's Brians
Yeah.
instead of ENS. So Brian we had two places, and the day we sold in Highwood, he bought me out of the other one. So he ran that for the last 4 or 5 years. He just recently got out. I'm not sure what he's going to do after. I'm not sure what he's going to do moving forward, but that's going to open up hopefully in a week or two. It's going to be called Hat Tricks. It's with
Okay.
Jeff Urso. So Jeff Urso now, who does
Okay.
the Lake Forest podcast, is going to have that out in Mundelein.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it's going to be basically what it was, still kind of a little sports bar with some food in that. So he cleaned it up, and he's going to utilize the areas better than we did, and
Did
hopefully
he
he's
did now? Well, Brian was doing live music. There was like a tent. I remember that. Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
do it
We've
in the
got a
winter
back,
and stuff. Yeah.
we've
Is
got a
that
little
still
back
there? Is
area.
that? Yeah.
The area's there. I don't know if they have the tent or not. I'm not sure if Jeff's thing is going to be music or not, but it's either way, it's a cool patio to go hang out on for sure. So
And now there's a bunch of built. There's a bunch of townhomes, apartments, and
yeah,
condos. I mean, it's been
yeah.
building
There's a
up
lot
all
of
around
people
that area when it
right
was
across the
nothing
street.
a few years
Yeah,
ago. Yeah.
yeah. Down the street and across the street, like by Village Hall. I mean, they're throwing up
Yeah.
serious buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but nothing. We weren't obnoxious about it when people
Yeah.
said turn it down. We turned it down, and then I mean, back in the day, the band didn't start till 10, and they would play till 1:30 in the morning, and then they enacted the noise ordinance, and that actually turned out to be a great thing because starting at 10 is not. It's not the answer anymore. If someone says they're going to go see music at 10, I'm like, I'm not going to make that. I can't. That's not gonna
It's
happen.
true though.
Yeah,
I mean, I think about even the days of playing when you're going to like 1 in the morning.
yeah.
That's a 2:30 in the morning night for me. By the time I get done breaking the shit down, get home, unload everything, it's just it
And then you're all
sucks.
amped up, and then you're up for another hour just trying to unwind.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal, but you guys were always really good about it. I mean, obviously the outdoor sound is what you have to worry about
Yeah,
for
right.
noise ordinances, but you guys had it till a certain time and
Yeah, it was a
you
level
guys
up to the
followed it,
level of yeah, and you have to. Quite honestly, I thought it was going to hurt at first, and then come to find out, I was like, I loved it. I loved getting the band in there early, and
Yeah.
it worked out better. I mean, for sure, for everyone.
And the
So
bands like it too. I bet if you
I'm
polled,
sure. Yeah, I
I
think
mean, yeah, there's a couple vampires out there that probably like to sleep till 9 o'clock at night, get out of bed, and then go play. But I'll tell you, the vast majority of people that I know, and maybe it's my age too, but they like to play early and get done early.
absolutely.
I want to
Yeah,
get home. I want to be schlepping crap around at 2 a.m.
yeah.
I mean, I want to
No,
be done.
yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been to the one in Mundelein, and they changed the name, right? Brian changed it to
It was Teddy O'Brien's.
oh, it was.
Yeah, it was Teddy O'Brien. It was
Oh, I
it
thought
was it was supposed to change it. I don't think he ever did.
okay, I thought I hadn't been there, so I shouldn't even comment on it.
Yeah,
I haven't
no, but
gone there yet.
it was Teddy O'Brien's
Yeah,
from 2019 to
yeah,
just recently.
yeah.
Maybe you tell them, what do you call that? The silent discos where everybody's wearing the headsets and there's there's green lights and red lights, and you can pick the music you want to hear, and everybody's got headphones on. Maybe that'll do it.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
spitballing here, Ted. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know, man. That
I'm
doesn't
not sure that's
sound.
the crowd I want. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the crowd I want.
Well, let's talk about the music scene because depending on who you talk to, if they're a positive person, a positive outlook on life, negative outlook on life, people complain about nobody's as like the old days. Well, nothing's like the old days, okay? Go out. It's just changed. Do you think it's changed that much, Ted, where people don't want to go out as much, or it's just that we're just old farts and we want to hear music at 2 in the afternoon?
I think there's a degree of that, but it's not as exaggerated. I think people were like that a little after COVID, and then now everyone's like, all right, enough's enough. If I want to go out, I'm going out.
Yeah.
And I think the earlier music is key. Like, that was the beautiful thing about Blotto on Sundays was 4:00. So, you were home by 8:30, good to go for Sunday. It's a great way to start the week.
Yeah.
So
Actually, wasn't their start time 4:20?
yeah, absolutely.
Paul.
I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right,
Well, you
it's
just,
there.
you knew when
there.
to show up. Like if I
Right.
was there at 4, I was early,
Yeah,
but
right.
I get there at 4:15, I'm right on time.
Right.
What was the biggest night you had there, Ted? Was it like a
I
New
think-
Year's or?
No, I think one of them was a Nashwood. I think it was a Nashwood Saturday. And because that goes all day. So it's not like you're busy from 7 to 1. You get busy like at noon, and then it kind of slows down for a little, and then you get another wave. And so it was it was nonstop all day. I mean, so it was
How many times did you have to hop behind?
all the time. I was back there all the time. And it's a great way to bop around and see people too, because you can't get stuck for too long. You got to kind of stick and move when you're behind the bar. You can't,
Miller Lite cheeseburger.
Yeah. I'd love to talk to you, but I gotta go. I gotta go down
fries,
here.
chips.
Yeah, right. At that point, you're like, no food. Sorry.
What was the decision? I remember when you did it, but I mean, like, what were you thinking at the time when COVID hit and it was winter, right? And now we're gonna have some live music and you're like, hey, I'm gonna put a tent up. So that tent.
They said that was cool. That was a city thing. So there was nothing written in the local ordinance, and that because of that, it was whatever. So they said, I don't even know if we asked or if they just said you could.
Yeah.
But they were cool. They were like, absolutely. So we bought a tent, and government was giving away money for stuff like that. So I think we had most of it paid for, actually. Yeah. And it was got a couple of heaters.
Yep.
Yeah. And it wasn't, if it was 0 degrees out, you had to still wear, some warm clothes, but it worked. I mean,
it worked. Yeah. I mean, I remember I played there with Rally Day, and it was a blizzard outside and sub-zero weather. And I'm at the back of the tent, And I remember it was like frost coming in under the tent, but other than your feet were a little cold, but we were still warm,
Right, it worked. Yeah,
it did.
It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done for sure.
It was awesome. Are you kidding? Yeah. Those days in the tent were, I don't know, I thought they were great. I thought they were super fun.
Yeah.
Now Toad at Toadstool, he put a tent out. Was that during COVID? How did that work out? And if you had your place again, would you put a tent, kind of cap it in, encapsulate it, or?
I think maybe not a tent, but like a permanent structure off the building would be, I think tent is kind of was for the time it works, but I don't think they're not looking to have a bunch of tents around town. I think, obviously so. But I think you could do a permanent structure that would be cool and make that feasible for sure, where you could put some walls on there and heat it if you needed to.
Yeah.
Garage doors, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I think during COVID is when Toadstool put the little alley where they covered the alley so they could have some outdoor seating. And then they've got obviously the whole back parking lot for outdoor music.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like an atrium now. I mean, he can close that, between the two buildings. So
I think that was COVID. I think that was COVID related.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
I wonder if Toad's having any problems over there. I don't want to poke the bear.
No, he's doing good.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, it's like the Jordan got a three-peat, and then the Rockets won a couple, and Jordan came back and got a three-peat. I think if he'd have stayed, they would have won 8 in a row. And I feel like if we would have stayed, there wouldn't have been problems, and we wouldn't even be having these discussions. It would have been fine,
Yeah.
Let's just say they call you up. All right, Ted, you're back in. What are you going to do?
Get over there and start cleaning that place up. Call
Coke. What has to be done? I mean, obviously it's been shuttered.
Not a ton.
Yeah.
It's a hard cleaning. I was in there in March doing stuff. I was fixing things and cleaning up and changing the lights and ceiling fans and fixtures in anticipation of being able to open. And then I kind of got the resistance. So I haven't been over there. But a lot of it's done. I mean, everything, it just needs to be hard clean and set up the outside and get it ready to roll. But it shouldn't take long.
Hold on, Ted. If you sold it in 22, why are you the one that's in there now cleaning it? Is it just nobody owns it now, or you had
right? Nobody owns it now.
And nobody's been in there.
Nobody's been in there. So yeah, I technically own the name and I own all the assets that are in there.
Okay. Got it.
So I just don't have a business to run in there right now. So
Yeah. And
um,
that's been closed since October, right?
yeah, it's been a
October.
long time. So not much. I mean, there's it's the logistical stuff, insurance and health department, and all the things you got to do. But I had that ball rolling, so it shouldn't be hard to to get it back where it needs to be. So if that happened, it could be pretty turnkey pretty quick.
Well, I mean, I'll put the again, I'm trying to keep it to music. Then I'm going to get people giving me
Yeah,
comments. Hey, why don't you tell me more what happened? I'll use the clips from the April meeting, then the May meeting, just to show the difference in there. Then people can see for themselves and just
yeah,
say, Ted's doing what he can do. This is what happened, and this is just how the sausage is made, right?
just how it's rolling right now. Yeah, it's like walking around in a straitjacket, pretty much.
Bongo, is it time to ask like some really important questions yet? Are you
Yeah,
there?
we need to ask Ted some questions. I don't even know if I know these answers, and he's
All
my
right.
friend. I don't know the answers, but I want to ask the questions anyway, so I'm going
All
to do
right,
it. All right, these
fire
are
away.
easy. I don't want you to think too hard.
All right,
Tax your brain. We want to
thank
make
you.
it easy, very easy. So, first question for you is, what was your first concert, and who was it? Where was it?
That he went to, not that he booked.
Right.
No, yeah, you booked. This is
My first
going
concert was
as a young boy.
it was Jimmy Buffett at Poplar Creek.
Wow. Okay.
Poplar Creek
What
is
year? Do you remember the year?
no longer. So I was probably
Blah, 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 blah.
16, so mid
Okay.
80s, 80, 85, 86, 87, somewhere in there.
Was it still the same party? Because I got on that train a little late. I saw him at Alpine Valley, and by that time it was quite a spectacle. I mean, people
Yeah,
were bringing in, their
yeah,
own sand and their own tiki bars, and they were
right.
coming in buses. I mean, it was a big spectacle. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was like back at Poplar Creek. Was it the same or
Well, I don't think Poplar Creek had the parking lot that Alpine has, so it wasn't
no?
quite that big of a spectacle, but it definitely caught on over the years. I mean, it's incredible. I saw his last show before he passed away at Alpine, uh,
Okay.
whatever year that was, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It was fins to the left, fins to the right.
you're,
Cheeseburger
the,
in paradise.
you're the only
Yeah,
bait in town.
it was crazy, man. I remember, I only saw him once, and I was at Alpine Valley, and we had, a couple carloads of guys, and we tailgated the
Yeah,
whole time. And
so fun.
you
He's
walk
such a
around the
good.
parking lot, you might see some boobs. You're gonna definitely see
What?
some blenders. There was booze
Yeah,
in the blender, is what I
yeah,
was
they're both
told.
losing money.
And there was live bands. They had generators with live bands. I saw that,
Yeah,
like I said, this one guy, he must have hauled in sand because he had sand
yeah.
on, the gravel, and then he had like a tiki bar and
Beach
uh
chairs. Yeah,
yeah, beach chairs and all
people
kinds of,
better their pickup trucks with water. People hanging out in
yes,
pools. I mean,
that's right. There
it's
was a
crazy.
guy with a pickup truck, and I remember he had a pool in
Pool,
there, and there were women in bikinis.
sitting in there. That's why you go to a Buffett show, right?
That's why you go to
Yeah,
a Buffett show.
yeah,
It's definitely was a lot more excitement in the parking lot.
yeah,
And when I
right.
saw him, it
New.
was great. It was so much
Yeah,
fun. But
yeah,
but I remember the parking lot scene was kind of like wow, this is really, it's like kind of like a Dead show, except instead of a bunch of hippies, you got a bunch of people that are wearing, Hawaiian shirts and drinking margaritas and getting really liquored up.
really, yeah, really sauced.
Wasn't a lot of pot
But,
smoke.
but always fun. Everyone was always in a good mood. It was a
Oh,
great crowd. Like
yeah,
the Dead shows.
awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
It's the
But
scene.
I love that. I love the fact that you saw him at Poplar Creek. I remember seeing him on those Poplar Creek, they always get the series and have like 5 or 6 concerts in a series. And I always saw him on there, and then when I listened to his stuff, it was good, but I
Yeah,
didn't I missed it. I was too young to get into
yeah.
it at the time, so
One of our good
uh
buddies had that. His mom had it playing all the time. Songs you know by heart. They got the greatest hits. So
yeah.
we got into them really young.
It's good boating music,
Oh,
and every time I'm in like Florida, I feel like listening to it. I don't know
yeah,
why.
right, right.
Good. I like that. That's a
It's
good one.
almost
That's
so
our
long.
first Jimmy Buffett, by the way. We keep a tally of all the different concerts, and we've had some good ones. That's the first Jimmy Buffett. Uh, what is the one concert you went to and you walked out disappointed, or maybe you walked out completely early? Just curious. I always like to hear. Doesn't mean you didn't like the band. Could have just been
Yeah.
an off night, you know.
It was Fish at Kemper Arena. I worked for the company that booked music at Riverport in St. Louis and Sandstone in Kansas City, and Fish was playing at Kemper in Kansas City, so I got free tickets. And I had never. They were new. This is probably 95 or something,
Okay.
and it was like, oh, these are guys like the Dead. This is their jammy, whatever. And I went in there and I watched the first set, and the crowd was not hippie. It was like dirty and like trying to break in and running through, and I was like, these guys suck. I do not like them. I left at set break. I was like, done.
So you're still not a fan?
I've gone to see them since, and
Yeah.
I do like some of their music, but a lot of it I don't like. And my problem with seeing them live is it's a 27-minute song every song.
Yeah.
And I get that Trey is an amazing guitarist,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have to prove it every song. 6-minute
Yeah,
song.
you may want to check out, and maybe you already have, if you ever checked out the Trey Anastasio band. So Tab
Yeah.
that's really good. And I actually like Tab a lot too. I had that similar like experience. Fish opened for, believe it or not, Santana, and I believe it was at Poplar, or it might have been Alpine, or not Alpine, the World. And I remember that was the first time I seen him, and I remember it was a little chaotic. I do recall the guy brought out a vacuum cleaner and played a vacuum cleaner. Yeah. I know, Pete, you're looking at me like I was like high or something. I'm not. I wasn't high. But yeah, no, he was playing like one of those like.
Is it a Hoover?
Not a Hoover. What do they call that? It's got two pieces. Like there's like a
wet
part
vac?
where huh?
A wet
Yeah,
vac?
it's got the part that's where it gets the dirt, and then you got the long nozzle thing with it's separate, two pieces. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He's blowing in the thing. I don't know. And it was a little chaotic, and I was like, this is kind of a weird pairing, because I know that when Santana comes on, it's going to be this high energy Latin music. And I liked some of it, and then some of it I didn't like. And then when I saw him since several times now, but I've learned to appreciate it. But I kind of get what you're saying, where they sometimes those 27-minute songs kind of go on and on and
Right.
on.
And it starts to sound the same. I'm after like, I think you just did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, this is good. This is why we asked that question. Now, the final question, Ted. This is
All right. For all the marbles. This
is the one. This is Pete's favorite.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. Bongos. Pop-Tarts. What's your thoughts? You love them? You hate them?
You see how his face lit up? I already know.
I mean,
That's
I
the
can tell
clip.
you.
Continue.
I
sir.
don't mind a Pop-Tart. I haven't had one since, I don't know.
Wait, I don't mind a Pop-Tart. You
Yeah,
lit
I mean,
up like a
who
200-watt bulb.
Who doesn't like a Pop-Tart? Well, it was just an interesting question. I thought he was going to go, what's your favorite flavor? You like them warm? You like them, room temperature, toasted?
Yeah.
How do you like them?
Sure.
No. If someone put a Pop-Tart in front of me right now, I'm fresh out of the toaster, I'd eat the hell out of it. I would need some milk, but other than that, I would be fine. Yeah.
Right. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I personally like them toasted.
Yeah.
You
for
ever have
sure.
them with butter? You ever put butter on one?
No.
Okay.
I mean, butter makes everything better, so I'm not scared of that either.
Right.
Yeah.
You've had several people say if you tried it with butter, and I got to say I haven't either, but that's why I just threw that. That's like part B to the question, right?
All right.
Yeah.
It might be
Butter.
worth a trip to the grocery store to see what they got,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
it.
yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man.
No
If
problem,
that's all you
Ted.
got for me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, man.
Man, Pete, I'm down for this every week. I love this. I'll do this all the time.
we want Teddy O'Brien's back. I know all the fans and all the people that have gone there and supported you over the years are all going to be there to support you again. And there's no doubt that you get back in there, it's going to be a well-run business, no monkey shines, no bullshit. You're going to book bands that are great, and people are going to come out and they're going to support it.
And like you said, someone alluded to it before, the meeting, the city council meeting, there was a lot of people that got up and spoke, and that was really, that was really nice. And there wasn't a person that tell me what I can do. I don't even do that. People just did it because they wanted to get up there. So it's been really nice to see the support for it. So it's I hope we can have a nice end of the story.
Yeah, that's the power of this music community and how people come together. You know, we've seen fundraisers done for people that, get cancer, and we've seen, I've watched it, I participated in it, got involved in a lot of these fundraisers. And when music comes together, it's powerful. And when the people that support that music and that support people like yourself, as a bar owner and stuff, I think it's a beautiful thing, that's a testament to you as a bar owner, as a friend, as a person, and the way you ran that business. Like I said, I don't know, I can't say enough good things.
You
And I
vouch.
just
You vouch.
I more than vouch,
Thank
because
you,
when
Mike.
I heard that he was going to be coming back, I was excited, and that's what we want. Everyone wants that. So I'm hoping that this story does end the way we want it to, which is Teddy O'Brien's opening again and Mr. Ted Banick running the show.
Rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll.
Pushing
Well,
those
I hope
Miller
that-
Lights, no martinis, please.
Keep it easy, man. Just give me a PBR. I'll
Two
get out of here.
ingredients: Jack and Coke, vodka time. That's what I want.
Ted Banick, man. Teddy O'Brien, thanks for hanging with us on the Hogpod.
Thanks for having me, man. It was great to see you.
All right.
Thanks, Ted.
Bongo,
Thank you.
see you in 15.
You got it, buddy.